Holidays in Yablonovka. The village of Yablonovka is preserved in my memory, like a precious gem. Sometimes I remember it and it is as if I see it with its blue thatched roofs. Its one and only brick house, almost the same as the houses in the city, since it had stone tiles on its roof and a brown wooden door. And 2 low steps to the threshold, only 2. The white church with the tin dome on the hill. In the middle of the fenced cemetery, a little beyond the last huts of the village. Or a little before, depending on the direction from which you approached it. The women, children, old people, and the elderly priest of the village had not been in any kind of immediate danger during the 3 years of the war. We stayed in Yablonovka for a few hours that morning. We had passed through many deserted villages. However, this one had been saved. In those days the first Christmas packages had begun to arrive. But we certainly did not open them. Yes, our area was fortunately quiet. But we were still facing death. And I was sick of seeing men who had faced death head-on, falling into nostalgia for the gold dust and ornaments that for 100 years had turned the birth of the Savior into a sweet and salty celebration. The truth is that I was already trembling at the thought of Christmas Eve, at the thought of what I would have to endure that evening. But a miracle happened. Not the kind of miracles on postcards. I mean a real miracle. On December 19th they gave us a leave of absence. And we went to Yablonovka. It was snowy. From its thatched roofs, icicles hung down to their tiny windows. We had 23 degrees below zero. On the morning of the eve, the villagers came to the regimental headquarters. They asked us for 16 candles. Hanumak, the supply corporal, found 8, cut them in half and gave them to them. The children carved faces into hollow pumpkins, put the candles inside and lit them, each holding 3 such lanterns. And these lanterns were the 3 wise men. The war had finally reached Yablonovka. The villager, who, whether she wanted it or not, hosted me in her house, was called Joseph of Agargas. Although many women in the village had been widowed during the war years, she was the only one with the nickname, the widow, because her husband had died of natural causes just 6 months before the declaration of war. He had 2 twin boys, 3 years old, 2 smiling blonde faces. The sky above us sparkles, the snow beneath our feet sparkles around us. It's as if the sky reflects the snow. The deceptive snow outside its slopes is a temptation, so much so that it seems almost a sin not to step on it. Where it is high and hard, majestic, crystalline, and melodious. In order not to fall on our comrades, and to enjoy the night with its stars and snow, we climbed up, tramping behind the line of houses. All around us was quiet, there was no war. 10, 12 times the searchlight tore the sky apart, but it was as if it were taking its course, with its stride it went and came. If you believe his words, the Messiah had been born in Upsilon Oblanovka, very close to the hut where the widow Joseph of Agargas stayed with her children. The lights went out one by one, the huts were plunged into darkness. Only the sky and the snow shone. As the village climbed the slope to the church, there were no benches, no pews, people stood or knelt. The widow Joseph of Agargas returned home walking among us. The door was not locked. Oh, no door in Yablonovka was locked. Even though the village was full of foreign soldiers, the shepherds were keeping watch here. We sat at the table and ate our borscht with wooden spoons. At 3 in the morning we kissed the twins and the widow, gave them the 4 parcels we had just received and went to sleep. Today you will sleep in the bed, said Rainica. I will sleep on the straw mattress. You will allow me a surprise, it is my gift. And so it was. At 6 in the morning they woke us up. With a marching order,